No matter how you play your games, everyone has some sort of backlog, and it can be a daunting decision on what to play next. Whether you need a break from a massive open world game or you just prefer games that can be beaten in an afternoon, shorter games can be a perfect fit for many gamers. So, here's 5 games that the main story can be beaten in under 5 hours. To start off the list, we have one of the most important and influential games under the 5-hour mark, and that is Portal. An incredibly entertaining puzzle game, you need to go through the game solving increasingly difficult puzzles while making use of portals. From the visuals where almost all of the rooms look extremely similar to the format of going room by room, the layout of the game is actually rather simplistic in nature, but the use of physics as a primary game mechanic is what made this game stand out from the crowd. Being able to understand key principles like momentum is essential to finding success throughout the game. From puzzles that require you to move yourself through the portals to moving objects through them, there's almost no limit to how you can solve the puzzles. With essentially no upgrades or anything of that nature, you, as a player, need to use your puzzle solving skills in order to move forward. You can solve a lot of the puzzles in different ways, especially as you get further into the game, and this shows just how versatile the portal gun can be. The writing in the game is fantastic. It's captivating, funny, witty, and never manages to get stale, even though it's essentially a one-sided conversation.
Well done. Remember, the Aperture Science Bring Your Daughter to Work Day is the perfect time to have her tested.
GLaDOS, as a character, is full of personality and is entertaining throughout the entire experience. The game does a fantastic job of teaching you the basics, letting you fail and learn all the different core aspects to solving puzzles in the test chambers. Fail once, fail 20 times, it doesn't matter. You don't move on until you've proven you understand the concept, and that's extremely important because the shift in the tone of the game from test chambers to escape is a fantastic one, and being able to think on your feet while making use of your newfound understanding of the portals gives you a sense of accomplishment very few games can replicate. From a game with a ton of complexity to one with almost none, a game about digging a hole is just that, a game where you dig a giant hole. In this game, you'll find yourself in a standard suburban backyard with a simple tool to start your dig. This is the type of game where you get to create your own fun. You can dig a tunnel system, you can dig for the joy of discovering new materials, you can just dig straight down and find out what lies below, or you can dig a message into the ground just because you want to. There's a very satisfying aspect to the simplicity of a game about digging a hole. Yes, there's a fun surprise at the ending of the game, but the vast majority of it can be played at your own pace. There's nothing forcing you to speed up or slow down. There's nothing forcing you to upgrade right away. It's a game that can be played however you want. Yes, to some players, this will be a rather boring and repetitive game, but to others, it'll be extremely soothing and relaxing. Now, if you decide to make use of all the different aspects to make your dig go faster, you'll notice there is a surprisingly good sense of progression. Upgrading your tools and seeing the dirt just start to vanish can be a pretty big thrill. Getting a certain distance down and finding a new, more expensive mineral can be rather exhilarating. But the best aspect of the game is just finding your own fun. From clearing out every single piece of dirt to speed running your way to the bottom, there is no wrong way to dig your hole. Speaking of holes, but instead of digging, this time it's all about expansion. In Donut County, you control a movable, expandable hole, and you need to find a way to drop everything in the levels down into the void. A simple concept, yes, but one that gets a little bit more complex as the game moves forward. There will be some quick puzzles to solve as you move from level to level, but overall, the game isn't overly complex. The joy in the game comes from the oddly satisfying nature of dropping bigger and bigger items into the hole, which can be accomplished by setting off chain reactions to solve the puzzles, flipping the appropriate switches, or figuring out how to make something stop floating in water. The game has some good humor, both visually and throughout the dialogue, as the characters have a good amount of personality and charm. There is a surprising amount of world building in the game, as the characters really do help bring the story to the forefront. While the concept of the game might seem rather simplistic and potentially boring from a distance, every level has something new to figure out, keeping the player's attention the entire way through, while the short runtime helps prevent the game from ever feeling stale. And sometimes, seeing something as big as a car get swallowed up is enough to keep you curious as to what could be swallowed up next. From a hole that swallows things to a character that swallows things, Kirby and his well known copy ability come in next. There are short games from every era of gaming, and Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards is a fantastic one from the Nintendo 64. A side scrolling action platformer where you control Kirby through another adventure. You'll need to work your way through the levels, taking out the enemies and collecting the crystal shards. But what sets it apart from other Kirby games is the twist on the well known copy ability, as this time you'll be able to combine two elements together to create some surprising and outrageous combinations. From a flame sword or a curling rock to fireworks or a double sided lightsaber, there's no shortage of fun and interesting abilities to discover. While the game itself isn't overly difficult, the variety and abilities will be the key factor in keeping you engaged. The visuals in the game are quite good, with bright and vibrant colors that really pop to go along with the kid friendly aesthetic. In terms of difficulty, the game is pretty easy. Even though there's constant enemies throughout the levels, they can be taken out rather easily no matter what combination of abilities you might be using. The gameplay itself can feel a little slow and restrictive, as the 2.5D visuals make it look like there's interesting locations for you to venture towards, but you have to stick to the predetermined path. You'll get the most out of the game by going through the levels multiple times in order to collect everything, and trying to see every different ability combination. The game is good for younger kids who might be looking for a fun adventure, but also gives adults who grew up with the game a fun dose of nostalgia. Sometimes, nostalgia isn't because of a game you played growing up. Sometimes, it's from a new game that features a ton of nostalgic elements. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Check. Side scrolling beat 'em up? Check. Callbacks to Turtles in Time? Check. When Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge released in 2022, it felt overwhelmingly familiar right away. With amazing cartoon quality cutscenes and incredibly smooth gameplay, the game just takes you back to feeling like a kid. Throughout, you'll travel to new and familiar locations where there will be specific in level challenges to give you another element to enjoy. The game has a fun variety of enemies to go along with the unique and different movesets for each character, which really helps display their own personalities. Can you get through the vast majority of the game by button mashing and using the most basic of attacks? Yes, depending on the difficulty chosen. But learning the movesets for each character will really heighten the experience as you start to watch your combo meter rise and rise. No matter how you decide to play through the story, be it solo, with friends, or even with strangers online, it'll be a ton of fun with a good amount of replayability because experiencing the game with every character is just part of the charm. Now, the game isn't overly difficult, especially when compared to the older arcade style beat 'em ups that this takes after. But that's okay because taking out the Foot Clan soldiers and destroying the interactable elements of the levels while the awesome soundtrack plays is just as fun as it was back in the arcades all those years ago. And there we have it, 5 games that can be beaten in under 5 hours. In an era when a lot of players put a ton of value into its length, these games prove that shorter experiences can be just as fulfilling. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up. It really helps out a lot. And please don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.